have a couple of like very, very fond moments of Aaliyah. Oh, I actually have more than that.
DMX.
For the physics. I tried to use phones, so your face knows.
Plane just after taking off for Florida in perfect weather suddenly plummeted to the ground. Investigators now saying one of the engines apparently failed. Along with 8 passengers, Aaliyah, a young Brooklyn native and a talented singer and actor.
Shit happens. Just make sure the plane you on is bigger than you carry on baggage. Just make sure the plane you on is bigger than you carry on baggage.
DMX and Aaliyah, 2 icons gone way too soon. Their connection ran deep, and some say it was more than just friendship. But here's the thing, DMX always respected her. He never crossed the line or acted like some of the shady industry dudes who couldn't keep their hands to themselves, allegedly. Now new reports are swirling that JayZ was fuming with jealousy over DMX, and honestly, it makes total sense. X was running laps around everyone at Def Jam, dropping 5 back-to-back albums that all hit #1 on the Billboard 200. That's history.
I just know that was a murder. You know what I'm saying? That was a spiritual, whether people know it or not. Because God don't kill people. You know what I'm saying? Whether people know it.
So why sign an artist that would promote that?
Because I already answered that question. You weren't paying attention. Yeah, I got people to feed. I got a business to run.
You're gonna make Dame Dash take this clip and call you a culture vulture.
Meanwhile, Jay was out here debating whether to retire or not, struggling to figure out his next move while X dominated the charts. But it wasn't just about music. Word on the street is that Jay had an obsession, and her name was Aaliyah.
I was always a fan of Aaliyah, you know, so it was like a pleasure for me. I was like, you know, you damn right I want to be in it, you know, but we worked on the movie together, and, you know, we did the song, you know, and she was like a beautiful person, man.
Get her back to say one last thing to her. What would you have said to her?
I have to say thank you. Thank you for the opportunities, you know, and thank you for the music, you know, and thank you for just being you. This is my own personal special tribute to Aaliyah. Here we go. Here we go. All right. This is Aaliyah, you know? And you know, it's my newest baby, and I named her after Aaliyah, you know, because that's how special she was to me.
Insiders say he tried hard to get her attention, but she just wasn't feeling him like that. Instead, she formed a close bond with DMX, someone who genuinely cared about her, and later started dating Jay's own business partner, Dame Dash. You can imagine how that must have burned Jay up inside. People who knew him back then say he had a serious control streak, and seeing Aaliyah choose others over him hit his ego hard.
Real quick, what do you think about Drake doing Aaliyah's posthumous album that's coming out and not involving Missy Elliott, Timbaland?
I mean, it just shows what I have said. Fucking piece of shit. Fucking like motherfucker, you didn't even know this woman. You didn't even know that you were in middle school. Fucking.
Then tragedy struck. Aaliyah, just 22 years old, died in that heartbreaking and mysterious plane crash that still haunts fans today. Too many red flags, too many unanswered questions. And to this day, loyal supporters still insist her death deserves a real reinvestigation.
I don't give a wanted to get away from your homie if you wanted to get away from your partner. But to do it the way he did it, it's malicious. But maybe that was because he was fucking the girl that didn't want you.
Oh.
It's time to talk hype. It's time for the public to ask you why Aaliyah couldn't get on Lenny Kravitz's plane. And you had to put her on that clown car plane. Who asked you to say that? And do yourself a favor before you make any statements. Please remember, I was out a little X, your apprentice. I know a lot more about you than you think I do. It's time for us to stop pussyfooting with the truth. It is time for Aaliyah Dana Houghton's death to be properly investigating.
Remember when Mary J. Blige said Aaliyah's death was a spiritual murder? That phrase still sends chills down people's spines. It's a strange way to describe what was supposed to be a plane crash accident. Almost like she was hinting there was something deeper, something off about it all.
Robinson to speak up about what she heard on that phone. It's time for somebody to be honest about who gave Aaliyah the pills that knocked her out before she was carried onto a plane she didn't want to be on. It's time for the other dancers who knew she was terrified to get on that plane to speak up. And it's time for Hype Williams to be officially questioned about why he made her get on that plane and why they forced her to do it unconscious.
Aaliyah was really scared to get on the plane to begin with, but apparently she was drugged and carried onto the plane. She had told everyone that she did not want to get on the plane. She fell asleep because she had a really bad headache, and then they just carried her onto the plane, even though she did not want to get on. It was said that she repeatedly told them that she did not feel comfortable. They handed her a sleeping pill, carried her onto the plane, and the rest is history.
Now let's talk about DMX. He managed to survive the madness of the industry for years. The fake love, the traps, the pressure. But when he passed away in 2021 from that so-called overdose, a lot of fans weren't buying the official story.
But was that I had heard that Lenny Kravitz had offered her a jet and then Hype had took the jet. So that's what really pissed me off about the situation when I heard about that. So you could ask Hype about that.
That's what I said. Have you ever talked to Hype about it?
Yeah.
And how did that conversation go?
Ask him.
But I also am asking you.
Yeah, but ask him.
A competitive thing, but it was big love. He was so competitive with me. I never met a human being more competitive with me.
Many started connecting the dots, pointing fingers at some powerful names behind the scenes, including JayZ's own mentor, Lear Cohen. People began wondering if there was more to it than just addiction. Was X's downfall tied to something darker? A silent battle for power and control inside the industry?
Okay, I see what's really good. You're trying to eliminate the competition. You know, because at first you retire, you know, then get me off the label, now you're back rapping again. Okay.
What I had a real bad drug problem, DMX.
I'm so sad. DMX, there's two people inside of him. And the Earl is one of the nicest people. I put him up in Lake George. Earl loved being silent with a fishing pole. I shit you not. He just would stay on that dock hours and hours and hours and hours. Yeah, very, very sad. You know, I think the opiate problem, the syrup problem is the biggest problem that...
So what was really going on? Was JayZ just jealous of DMX? Or was there an entire game being played behind the curtain, one that ended with both Aaliyah and DMX gone too soon? The timing, the patterns, the eerie coincidences, it's enough to make anyone suspicious. And let's not forget how close DMX and Aaliyah truly were. They didn't just work together on the Romeo Must Die soundtrack. Their chemistry was undeniable in interviews and behind the scenes. You could tell there was genuine respect and care between them, something rare in that business. DMX talked about her with real emotion, saying her death tore him apart. It hit him on a soul level, not as another celebrity loss, but as someone he truly loved and missed. He was so heartbroken that he even named his daughter after Aaliyah. While other men in the industry only seemed to chase Aaliyah for clout or attraction, DMX stood apart. He was her protector.
That I've ever seen and I've ever faced and been a part of, and I can't fuck with it. You know, the crack thing was devastating, but at least the rappers were bringing a spotlight to you becoming a fiend, okay? And I thought that spotlight, head crack, helped, even though it was harsh and really really rough, particularly on women. But I think it helped change the course of the crack epidemic. I don't know what's this opioid thing, man.
Well, being a crackhead wasn't cool back then. Being a crackhead wasn't cool. Now they seem like they're making it cool to be drinking lean and syrup and.
It's the most dangerous. It's the most dangerous thing that's facing our society.
So why sign an artist that would promote that?
Because I already answered that question. You weren't paying attention. She asked me talent or issues, and I said talent. But I have to. I can't give up on people.
Don't you think that's hypocritical though? You're saying the
it's
opioid problem's a
opportunistic.
problem.
Yeah. I got people to feed. I got a business to run.
You're gonna make Dame Dash take this clip and call you a culture vulture.
Who's Dame Dash? You brought him up. I don't even know him. So you bring his name up. I don't even know him. So
y'all made a lot of money together.
Made a lot of
Come
money.
on, Leo. Don't do that to him.
I don't know him. I really don't. So,
Even after Aaliyah passed, when other artists in the industry tried to profit off her name, like Drake, who sampled her voice and used her image, DMX was the one who stood up and called it out. He made it clear that Aaliyah's memory wasn't some marketing tool, and that her legacy should be treated with real respect. That kind of loyalty is rare, especially in an industry where people will milk tragedy for clout. When DMX passed away in April 2021, Aaliyah's mother, Diane Houghton, took to Aaliyah's official Instagram page and wrote one of the most emotional tributes fans had ever seen. She said, "Earl, you had and still have a heart of gold. You and baby girl will meet again with all the beautiful people we have lost. We'll never forget your kindness. Blessings to your family eternally." That message hit deep. It showed just how real the bond between DMX and Aaliyah was. It wasn't for the cameras, it was genuine love and mutual respect. Now here's something people don't talk about enough. DMX, despite all his chaos, his run-ins with the law, and his personal demons, was never accused of anything creepy or inappropriate. That alone sets him apart from so many powerful men in the music game. He wasn't perfect, but he was real, and he never crossed those dark lines others in the business did. And speaking of others, JayZ's name always pops up when people start connecting dots. His rumored history with women in the industry runs long. Foxy Brown, Aaliyah, Beyonce, Kathy White. And then there are those friendships with R. Kelly and Diddy that always raise eyebrows. That whole circle has layers of controversy that go way beyond the surface. But let's keep the focus on Aaliyah. Everyone in the scene knew Jay wanted her badly. Photos of them together between 1999 and 2000 showed just how hard he tried to win her over. Insiders say Jay's interest in her went from admiration to obsession, that he couldn't stand the idea of her choosing someone else, especially one of his rivals. But here's the twist, Aaliyah wasn't impressed. She saw through the act and she wasn't feeling Jay the way he wanted. Here's where things get real strange. Word is, JayZ had already started talking to Beyonce around that same time. But back then, she wasn't his main focus. Beyonce was his plan B, Aaliyah was the it girl, the bigger star, the one with that rare glow that couldn't be copied. She had that mix of mystery, grace, and confidence that made everyone gravitate toward her. But when she turned Jay down and chose Dame Dash instead, that's when everything shifted. Suddenly, Jay switched gears and decided to make Beyonce the next queen of R&B, the one to dominate the scene. But according to whispers in the industry, Aaliyah was in the way. And if you listen to what Jaguar Wright's been saying, Jay had more than one motive to want her gone. Jaguar claimed that Jay's ego couldn't handle Aaliyah choosing Dame over him. That rejection hit hard. On top of that, he was allegedly trying to boost Beyonce's rise by clearing out her biggest competition. It's a wild theory, but too many coincidences make people question what really happened. Jaguar didn't stop there. In a more recent interview, she went all in, alleging that JayZ actually used famed director Hype Williams to set up the events that led to Aaliyah's death. Yeah, she said it straight, that Hype played a part in orchestrating the tragedy that ended her life. Jaguar also pointed fingers at Aaliyah's choreographer, Fatima Robinson, claiming that Fatima knows the real truth behind that plane crash. And here's where it gets even creepier. For reasons no one's ever explained, both Fatima and Hype didn't board the same small plane that Aaliyah took. Instead, they used a completely different flight to return to Miami the very next day. Meanwhile, Aaliyah was allegedly pressured onto a sketchy, overloaded aircraft that she didn't even want to board. Reports claim she refused at first, but was then sedated and carried unconscious onto the plane. And if that wasn't suspicious enough, Dame Dash dropped a bomb later on. He revealed that Lenny Kravitz, who actually had family ties in the Bahamas, offered Aaliyah his private jet so she could fly safely. But get this, Hype Williams allegedly stepped in and took that offer away. Instead, Aaliyah was made to board the small, questionable plane the label had already arranged for her. That one decision changed everything, and it's been haunting people ever since. There are just too many strange details around Aaliyah's death that don't add up. Who made the flight arrangements? Why ignore a safer jet option? And why did certain people conveniently use different planes the next day? Sure, maybe it's all just coincidence, but come on. With what we know about how twisted and manipulative the entertainment industry can be, it's hard to brush this off. Nothing feels accidental when so many powerful names are connected. Now, let's bring it back to DMX, because his story has eerie parallels. His passing has also sparked heavy speculation that foul play might have been involved. Some insiders claim that the batch he was given the night he overdosed wasn't normal, that the dealer might have been paid off to give him something laced or extra potent. Fans believe X didn't just fall victim to his addiction, they think someone wanted him gone. And where does JayZ fit into all this? After DMX's death, Jay popped up on LeBron James's show, acting like their feud was just friendly competition. But people who were there know better. It wasn't just about pride, it was about control. Jay wasn't trying to compete with DMX, he was trying to erase him from the top. When Jay became president of Def Jam, DMX was already a certified legend. 5 consecutive #1 albums, an unmatched run. But according to X himself, once Jay took the throne, everything changed. His projects got delayed, his album Year of the Dog, again got pushed back, and it started feeling like sabotage. On top of everything else, let's not forget that JayZ was mentored by Liar Cohen, and DMX never trusted that man from day one. X always said those industry execs were shady, pushing artists into weird, compromising situations just to stay in control. He refused to play along, and that's what made him dangerous to them. He couldn't be bought, manipulated, or broken. Now, Liar Cohen himself is a whole rabbit hole. There's so much that doesn't add up about him, from the conflicting stories he's told about his family background to the questionable ways he's handled artists' careers. People have been side-eyeing him for years, calling him one of the biggest culture vultures in the game. Dame Dash has been loud about this too. He straight up accused Liar of using divide and conquer tactics to destroy Rockefeller from the inside. And honestly, when you hear how Liar talks in interviews, it's easy to see why Dame feels that way. There's that one infamous moment when Liar appeared on The Breakfast Club and claimed he was sad to see DMX battling addiction. But when Charlemagne asked him point blank why he kept signing artists who glorify that lifestyle, Liar basically admitted it. He profits from the chaos. He didn't even hide it. It was like he was saying, "Yeah, I know it's toxic, but it sells." That kind of cold honesty just shows how deep the manipulation runs in the business. But it gets worse. Liar was supposed to show up in person at DMX's memorial on April 25, 2021, but he didn't bother. Instead, he sent a pre-recorded video message, and the things he said in that clip left people disgusted. He claimed no one was surprised that DMX supposedly overdosed and even referred to him as a gremlin. Like, seriously? Who says something like that at a memorial? Especially about someone whose life was already picked apart by the media? That's not a tribute, that's disrespect. Whether it was meant as some kind of inside joke or not, the tone felt wrong, heartless even. And that's where DMX's story and Aaliyah's story start to connect. Both Aaliyah and DMX were surrounded by shady figures. People who tried to control them, use them, and even profit off their legacies long after they were gone. It's like no matter how pure their intentions were, they couldn't escape the grip of an industry built on power plays and manipulation. The deeper you dig, the darker it gets. Too many coincidences, too many secrets, and way too many people acting like they don't know anything. So, now it's your turn. What do you think? Could there really be more to Aaliyah and DMX's deaths than what we've been told? Do you believe these weren't just tragic accidents, but part of something much bigger? Something that powerful people don't want exposed? And how far do JayZ's fingerprints really reach in all this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear every theory, every angle, every wild possibility. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because what's coming next is about to shake things up even more.